just a few of the little updates is I'm finally getting some fruit set on this tomato plant. It was kind of slow to happen, so none of the blossoms on the bottom that normally would set on a tomato plant, they didn't set this year. So, but it's good to see that I'm still able to get a few. There's that one there, and there's a little cluster of 3 here, so we will at least get a few tomatoes off of this one. And then over here, there's obviously just a ton of fruit set on this Berries Crazy Cherries. Over here, I don't see any ripe ones yet. There's a ripe one on the one over in the garden though. Also, another cute little update is that the Mandevilla has one tentacle that went up all the way over the trellis. I'm sad that the flowers of the shrimp plant are still dirty, but they do have a lot of little shrimps coming out of them, which is really cute. This is my little sweet potato experiment. I grew all the slips, so you can see there's more forming here from the base of the potato. Just stuck some toothpicks into it and put it in a jar, and these are the slips that came off of it. I am way too late. There is no way that I will get any sweet potatoes this year. I think it's 100 days that they need to even form a potato. So but I'm still gonna take these, and these roots are less than a week old, so I am going to take these though and plant them in like some of the raised beds that aren't filling in very well or something, just because they're really cool and they grew for me. It's too bad we don't have smell-o-vision. So here are the tree lilies. I mean, they smell so strong. There are however many blooms, 30 blooms that are open right now, and the last ones are probably going to open in the next day or so. You can see this one is just starting to open. They're just stunning. The camera doesn't do them justice how beautiful they are, right? That beautiful mauve on the outside with the yellow on the inside. And the smell is just, it's just crazy. We're having a heat wave here. It's going to be in the mid-90s with really high humidity today. So they love this heat, and it's making them all open all at the same time. But they're beautiful. Again, just such an amazing plant that requires no care. I suppose these little ones back here could maybe use stakes, but I have never staked them or anything like that. I just let them grow, and they do an amazing job. I did just notice that it looks like the tiger lilies are going to start opening now too, which that's super cool to get them all opening at the same time. Ouch, mosquito. And then over here, the trumpet vine. Now, I do think that we probably could get a few more blossoms on it. I think the stress of the last 2 really, really dry years is probably, you know, wasn't helpful with any of that. But you can see from the side that there's just a ton of pretty flowers. This is my view from my work desk, so I get to watch all the hummingbirds and bees come into the trumpet vine. Another thing is the blueberries are coming in fast and furious. Just getting a ton of them. You can see all of them that are already purple. I just picked them last night, so less than 12 hours ago, and these have already started to come in, so that's really, really cool and crazy. You can see over here the tomatoes that are back here. That blush tomato is the first cherry tomato that I got. I did get one off of the Sunrise Bumblebee also. So that's really cool to see. I always enjoy growing zucchinis just because the plants are so enormous. Like, this whole garden is, what is it, 12 by 6 by 12 garden, and I mean the majority of it is the giant zucchini plant at this point, along with the giant sunflower that's really starting to take off. That one is actually, I'm using air quotes, small compared to this one behind me. This giant sunflower is almost 6 feet tall now, and not even close to being done growing. So I'm giving it a lot of support with a lot of water and a lot of fertilizer. They're heavy feeders, so making sure it's getting all of the food that it needs. The tomatoes look terrible. Like the bottoms of them are really starting to die back, which it's okay. I do need to tie them up, but the heat has made the tie tape kind of stretch and want to fall over, so I'm gonna have to use something different in the future. It's just not working. I'm gonna pull, this is good documentation, I'm gonna pull the garlic this weekend. Hopefully you can see that it's really starting to die back, and that just means that it's time for it to come out of here. So that'll be cool to see what we get out of there. And here is the one first Berries Crazy Cherries that I'm getting out of my garden. Again, you can see that I'm getting some like blight that needs to be removed off of these plants. If you remove it, then it stops spreading quite so much. And the beans finally taking off on the trellis. It's always so late in the summer that they take off. I wish I could figure out a way to get the trellis covered a little faster. I would just like to see the trellis covered faster, but that's okay. And I'm just not a big fan of this, but I don't know what I can do about it. I've got the orange daylilies that are in with my beautiful yellow daylilies. The orange ones are blooming right now. It's really early in the morning, so you can see this one is just starting to open right there. And then the yellow ones, usually right as the orange ones are done blooming, then the yellow ones bloom, so I can take those sticks out of there. But I just don't think that there's any way for me to get the tubers for the orange ones out of the yellow ones and know which ones are which without maybe digging them while they're blooming, which I don't want to do. I don't know if the camera is going to convey how beautiful this back corner is. We've got this hosta. You can see why they're also called plantation lilies when you see how beautiful. I think that the blooms on them are beautiful. I know that others don't like them and they'll like cut off the flowers on a hosta, but that's crazy talk to me. I think that they're gorgeous. The giant one back there is starting to flower, or the flower stems are coming up on that one. And then with that giant hosta with the ginger in front of it, the giant hosta, and then this bee balm that is just super tall and blooming. I'll just remind you that the bee balm volunteered. I have never bought bee balm, but it is all over the garden and it is blooming like crazy. I've got this purple one that started, and then back in the corner and back over under the pine tree there's a reddish pink one. So that's really cool. And just as a good documentation, because I always get so frustrated with it, that the elephant ears are just finally coming up. It's what, July 13th, and they're just coming up. So in some cases we need to just be calm. This garden is kind of getting the crap kicked out of it by the squirrels that are into this bird feeder, and I think that the red squirrel has figured out it can hang from the top and get down into the feeder. If he touches this, it closes, and you know, so he's figured out though that he can hang there and then it doesn't close. So that just attracts all the squirrels when they figure things like that out. Look at how beautiful this plant is. I don't know, honestly, I'm not even sure what it is, and I don't keep tags anymore. There's just a million of them. But wow, that is really stunning. It almost kind of reminds me of like a heliotrope. It doesn't smell like that, but the leaves sort of look like that. But that is filling in gorgeous. When this, hopefully these Kinas back here will keep up and they'll get really tall and beautiful. That's going to be a cool looking pot by the end of the summer. And then there's this one that's just doing really well. It's exciting when things do well around here, because it really doesn't always happen. So this garden is really starting to take off and look beautiful. We need to get the edging in still and get some of these little pots that are sitting back here. They're just holding hostas for now. Those are really not actually flower pots. They're holding hostas, and that one's a, what is it called? A blackberry lily. I'll try to show the flowers if I can get them to bloom. Looks like they are going to bloom today, but it's, again, really early in the morning. A lot of that stuff likes to bloom later in the day. So, But that's really starting to fill in. So is the 2 raised beds. They're still kind of disappointing in that the plants aren't growing very quickly, but at least they're not dying now, so that's good. But what I really wanted to show was that we got our little divider wall completed, and it looks great. Just kind of stops your eye from going into the junky compost area where we store everything. Hopefully we'll be able to do another one on this side and really just kind of wall off that area. And then we found this cute little planter that Bill planted these salvias into, which are so beautiful. So it's really great to see that we got that project done last weekend. So it's nice to see all of the progress that we're making. Another pot that is just stunning and so cool is this one. I put a ridiculous amount of plants in there, and I shouldn't have, and I'm so happy I did. I put a castor bean, which they are enormous. I put elephant ears, which they are enormous. And then I put whatever these, I don't know what they are, but those pretty flowers in there. So those flowers should bloom eventually and have like red blooms on them. There's some in all the gardens back here. So they were a Costco thing that I bought this spring, little bulbs. So yeah, I'm glad that I overdid it. And a lot of times when we fill this junky old bird bath, it's funny because this bird bath is so ugly, but I love it. I just think that it's very rustic and that it looks so pretty back here. And when we fill it, the water splashes back there and really keeps that pot watered very well. I think I talked in one of the last videos about the cucamelons not liking the cooler weather, and so it's been really hot this week, and you can see that it exploded. Like, it doesn't take much heat for them to explode and really start to grow. This year I only put 1 plant per planter. I usually put a few plants in there. I was just being cheap and I didn't get them started myself, so I didn't want to spend that much on them. And I think it's going to be fine. They're going to fill in and look really great. Maybe you won't get as many cucamelons off of it, but that's all right too. This garden over here is looking really beautiful. Again, we've got the kind of purple bee balm that's starting to bloom, but then you can see that beautiful kind of, I don't know, I think it's pink. I think it's pink, but it kind of looks red from far away. So that's really great to see that. Again, I didn't plant any of this. The birds did it for me. So thank you to the birds. These ones stay shorter, which, because this is really shaded under this tree. This is under our, I think it's a weeping pine tree. It's my least favorite tree, but it's impossible to get out of here with the power lines and everything that's back here. Anyways, it gets a lot of shade back here. So these plants stay shorter. So I didn't know how bee balm grew. We'll come over here. We've got the garden and the big tree. I would normally cut this out, but we'll just do it. Here's the other red ones that are starting to grow in. I am hoping that they kind of take over this area where we took that weird raised bed out that I always pulled weeds out of. You can see the failed asparagus that's in here. It's good to show garden failures along with garden successes. So this was a failure. It's just years and years. I assume because it's right at the base of this tree that somehow that was causing a problem, even though there's a ton of other things growing around it. I don't know. Anyways, the bee balm, and it really does, it does what it says on the box, right? It's bee balm, and the bees love it. So you can see these ones are a little bit shorter because I think they're newer, but those back there, they're just so tall and gorgeous. So one thing that I guess I haven't really given any update on is how crazy the corn is going. I mean, it is so tall and so healthy. Unfortunately, of course, it has to be in this. I probably could take it off now because I think that the animals, the squirrels or whatever, they really like to eat the little seedlings. Wow, I don't know whose dog that was. anyways, they like to eat the seedlings, and now that the plants are so big, it probably would be fine. But yeah, it's really been cool to watch them grow this year. It was so sad last year when it didn't grow at all. I wanted to get a shot of this stunning daylily, but it is really early in the morning, and it's not open yet. So I probably have to wait to come back and get the video of this. So this video is kind of going to go over a few days. This weekend specifically, it was a big storm last night, so we've spent the entire morning tying up all of the tomatoes. They look pretty sad, but I think they'll bounce back and probably fill back out. A couple of them broke off, but that's okay. There must have been a big windstorm because there wasn't a lot of rain when we woke up this morning, but there were sticks and stuff everywhere. But I did want to show just my favorite daylily. This is the first blooms that are opening, this big yellow one. It was my mom's daylily, and I just love it. It's so gorgeous. Like, the flowers are huge. They're the size of the palm of my hand. Yeah, they're gorgeous. The ditch weeds are still blooming, which I don't pull them out until they're done blooming, but usually they don't bloom at the same time. But anyways, these are just gorgeous. I do have these other daylilies that are back here. This is the jungly area that I don't really know what to do with, and sometimes I throw plants back here that I'm just not sure what to do with, but I want them to live. So I have 3 daylilies back here that are real sad, but this one is blooming and has that beautiful maroon and gold, almost like the U of M colors. But anyways, beautiful. So here's the other blackberry lily. It's actually hilariously just a clump of them growing in a pot that I still need to plant. We're just finishing up back here, and we're going to get some of this stuff planted, but they're just so cool. They're even really cool after they're finished blooming because they like twist up into that spiral, and then they're called a blackberry lily because the little seeds on them look like little black berries. They don't look like blackberries like a raspberry, but they're just little blackberries. So yeah, very resilient plants. I have not taken very good care of them, and they're still back here, so that's always nice. Still in the next phase of finishing up back here, where Bill just put this edging in. It looks so nice. We're going to be able to go through and plant all the extra hostas in the open areas. I mean, this hosta is going to get enormous. So, and this is in honor of our Auntie Mary. We have a silly little ladybug back here that I found at the garden center, and I had to put a ladybug in our memorial garden. So we're gonna slowly try to get things that remind us of all of our lost loved ones. I don't take much videos of out front here. Oh, this might be terrible lighting, but we have this beautiful pot that we always plant out here with the impatiens, and the elephant ears are finally starting to come up in here. I got the dog. You can see the driveway is just full of shrapnel from the storm last night. But the hostas are so beautiful this year, just growing in so well. And then coming back into the backyard, we have our garden sign, and our impatiens are really blooming and just looking so beautiful. Oh, the mosquitoes are bad though. And then this is where Tank stops. His nickname is Roadblock. How bud? Good boy. Well, this weekend was a really hot weekend, and I did do some filming, so that'll be the clips that come up next. It's still pretty warm this morning. It looks like it's gonna rain, and the squirrels are fighting in the background. I just wanted to like finish up with some of the updates that we got done. We're just slowly working on all of this. Here is the garden edging that we did. We used to just have those rocks in there, but we changed it to put that black edging so it kind of matched the rest of the garden, and just really like the clean look of it. Those rocks will settle in and all of that. Those are rocks that we've collected over the years when we've traveled, mostly from up north. Of course, we still want to make something for the sign back here that I bought for my mom, but otherwise, I think this is finally done. We've got the edging in. We need to put some grass seed down. but all of the hostas are in. We've got some little ones off to the side. That one will be a giant one. And we planted all of the blackberry lilies and broke up a couple of the hostas. So these will be big when they fill in on either side of that variegated one. Same with over here. We put some little hostas in alongside here. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty sure that the rabbits will have a field day eating those, but you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they won't. And this big pot, we have the watermelon pot there. We discussed that yesterday. Next year, we'll, you know, we'll make sure that we put a better looking pot there. Maybe with watermelon in it. Who knows? Oh, looks like something kind of broke over one of the elephant ear leaves. You know, this is like a squirrel superhighway back here, so things they probably climb around and fight back here. That's the red squirrel yelling because they were just arguing in the yard. So one little update that I wanted to do was about the garlic and the area. This is the area over here where the garlic was. I did pull it yesterday. I mean, it was pretty much died back. I don't think that the bulbs were going to get much bigger, maybe a little bit, but they did terrible. Again, with the soil issues that I'm having, I still don't totally understand what's going on, but it's not great. So I'll cut to the little bundle of garlic that I got. Pretty sure I could have done better, and this is the worst harvest I've ever had. It's kind of dark in here, but I'm keeping them in the shed for right now while because it's raining and whatever. But I mean, look at how tiny they are. They're just little tiny. They're hardly, some of them aren't even bigger than the cloves of garlic that I put in the ground. This one is an elephant garlic, which should be the size of my hand and not the size of a normal garlic. I don't think I'm going to do garlic again this year because we're going to do some work over in those garden beds, and you have to put them in the fall for them to come up and be harvested in July. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of document that it didn't go well this year, but that's okay. It'll still eat. It's great to see how much this stuff grows even just in a day or two with these elephant ears coming up. And these beautiful hostas back here. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you for watching and happy gardening.